The moment I pulled up to the grand flower-laden entrance of the venue, my chest tightened in a way that made my hands tremble on the steering wheel. There, framed in an ornate golden frame, was a photo of me, smiling awkwardly from a family portrait I hadn't even remembered taking. Below it, in bold black letters, a sign read, "Do not let him in." I froze, my mind spinning, trying to understand what I was seeing. My stepdaughter, Lily, my sweet, fiery, complicated Lily, had grown up before my eyes. She was about to marry the man she loved, and yet here she was, holding a silent grudge against me that I hadn't even realized existed. I looked at the car door, at the ground, and then, slowly, without a word, I turned around and left. The drive home was silent, the radio playing a dull, meaningless hum as I replayed every memory I had of Lily in my mind. When her mother married me, Lily had been just 10. Angry, lonely, distrustful. I had tried desperately to connect with her over the years through late-night talks, school events, and awkward family dinners, but it seemed like nothing I did ever mattered. And now, at 24, she was telling me in the only way she knew how, "Stay away, you don't belong here." I wandered my empty apartment for hours, wrestling with an overwhelming combination of sadness, guilt, and anger. 3 hours later, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Lily's mother. "You should know. The wedding's over. She left. Everyone's gone." She walked out. I couldn't breathe. I stared at the ceiling, a dull ache in my chest as I tried to make sense of it. How could one sign, one moment of unspoken pain, undo a lifetime of memories, even the happy ones? I didn't need to ask what had happened. I could feel it in every quiet corner of my mind. 3 hours later, Lily was sitting in the quiet of the deserted venue, tears streaking her makeup, staring at the floor as the man she was supposed to marry packed up his suit. Defeated. She realized in a gut-wrenching moment that her anger, her stubborn refusal to forgive me, had turned into a storm that left her wedding day hollow. All the joy, the laughter, the celebration, it had vanished the moment I walked away. She had built a wall that no one could climb over. Not her mother, not her friends, not even her fiancé. Only I had the key, and she had locked me out. I didn't hear from her that night. I slept fitfully, dreaming of moments I wished I could redo, the times I had scolded her too harshly, the times I had let my own fears prevent me from showing love. But the next morning, a small, trembling note was slid under my door. It was in Lily's handwriting. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, please. Come home." I didn't hesitate. I ran to her apartment, my heart pounding every step, a desperate plea for reconciliation. When I arrived, Lily opened the door, her eyes red and swollen, her hands shaking. For a long moment, we just looked at each other. Two people who had loved and hurt each other in equal measure. Then she threw herself into my arms and I held her tighter than I ever had. "I was scared," she whispered into my shoulder. "I didn't want anyone else to hurt me. I thought I had to protect myself." "I know, sweetheart," I said, "and I should have been there to help, not just watch you protect yourself. I'm so sorry for everything I didn't do." We sat there talking for hours, unpacking years of resentment, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities. We cried together, laughed through the tears, and slowly, the weight between us began to lift. That day, I realized that love isn't always perfect, and family isn't always easy, but it's the hardest moments that define it the most. A week later, Lily called me. She didn't want to get married yet, not until we had rebuilt what had been broken. She wanted time, space, and most importantly, my support. I promised her all three, knowing that this time, nothing would keep us apart. Looking back, I understood that the sign at the entrance wasn't just a rejection, it was a wake-up call. It reminded me that love requires effort, courage, and vulnerability, even with those we think we know best. And Lily, in her wisdom, had shown me that forgiveness doesn't come from grand gestures or celebrations. It comes from patience, honesty, and the willingness to meet someone in their pain. We still talk about that day often, not to dwell, but to remember the lessons it gave us, that pride and fear can destroy what we hold dear, that apologies without action are meaningless, and that sometimes walking away is the first step toward walking back into each other's hearts. By the time she remarried, it wasn't just a wedding, it was a celebration of resilience, of love mended, and of the bond between a stepfather and stepdaughter that no sign, no hurt, and no misunderstanding could ever truly break.